say the right thing, especially to a lady friend on special days.
Does Millie know about this?
If you go to a florist shop, it's always a fun place to go, and Joe here's going to tell you all about it. So if you Joe
Prevatil.
Joe Prevatil.
Right.
He asked me.
This is kind of impromptu, so I'm just going to kind of give you how I got started in the business. I graduated high school in '64, that was a while back, and I came up to North Texas thinking I was going to be an artist, and I did graduate from there in graphic design in '69, January '69. And of course, Uncle Sam was that time wanting everybody for Vietnam. And of course, I went straight from putting the cap off and went into the service, and ended up in Vietnam for about 15 months. I did, all through college, I did work at a florist, believe it or not. I started out as delivery. I didn't know I was going to do that. I was offered the job by the fellow that owned the apartments I lived in. That was Linwood Robertson. He owned Linwood Robertson Florist. A great fellow and mentor. He took me under his wing, him and his wife Lita, put me in the delivery car, and I knew nothing about it. That was back then when flowers were arranged in chicken wire. We didn't have Oasis. And you imagine putting a vase together with chicken wire in it and putting me in a car and delivering it. And those flowers went all different directions. And I was, to make it look good, of course, I kind of straightened them up before I went to the door. And that's how I got started in the business. They were very special people. They rented an apartment from them. I think he offered me the job because he said, I have a vacuum cleaner. If you want to clean your apartment, you're welcome to use my vacuum cleaner. I think I was the only one that came and borrowed the vacuum cleaner from him. So that's how I met him. Kind of a neat thing. I graduated from North Texas back when Jitter Nolan was president, and he was developed to be a good friend as well. All along, I worked on weekends all through college. Let me back up. Let me back up again. All through college, I delivered. I started off delivery. They found I had a little bit of a talent. They put me on the table, and I started learning things, basic things. I started from putting flowers in the back side of a casket piece that nobody saw, but I was able to do that. Then after a while, I was actually making the whole thing. To Lita's dismay, she wasn't real hep on me joining that department, but we did. It was fun. Then Vietnam took me, and I was over there 15 months. It was an experience. I never really talked about it when I came home. Nobody even knew I was over there for years. I think when 9/11 hit, that's when it popped me. I found out I had PTSD. I didn't know it. I worked, started my business in '69, '68. I bought Holly's Gardens. It was an established florist, had been there for a couple of years, but when they widened Sherman Drive, it kind of that construction kind of put a stop on their business, and the Masseys decided whether or not they wanted to continue, and they didn't. And I was looking around and was ready to make a move in the florist business. I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry, but we'll get there.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Were you able to use the GI Bill to get you through college at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know about it.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you had. Thank you for your service, bro.
No, I didn't. Well, thank you. No, I didn't know about that. I didn't use the GI Bill until I did some graduate work for North Texas, and I did do some graduate work on my degree in commercial art. By the way, when I came back from Vietnam, I thought, what am I gonna do? I went by the Florist and Linwood offered me to stay. And I said, no, I want to try to do something with my degree. So I went over to North Texas and I got hired as a graphic designer. They really wasn't graphic designer, you'd say paste-up artist, put it that way, in their print shop. And I started off doing that. Believe it or not, back then, the annual salary was $5,000 a year. Can you believe that? That's pretty cool. That's back in 1970. You could live on that a month now. So, but anyway, I did that for several years, and had a couple of children. And found out that I couldn't make a living without a second job. So I worked my weekends at the Florist, all through working at North Texas. Didn't really realize had it in my blood, but I guess it was in my blood. All through college I worked there. I learned design. I never really had floral training, but my training was on the job training. Anybody can do this. You guys can do it. It doesn't take a degree in floral art in order to do it. It helps to get your start, but if you're creative at all, that's all it takes. I had no idea I was going to be a florist. It just happened. I was needing to maybe get out on my own from North Texas. There's some politics going on, and Jeter Nolan understood I was in a position to maybe move. He offered to back my loan to buy the shop, and he did. He co-signed for me, and that's how I bought Holly's Gardens. I started off that first year with, I think we had maybe 40 clients, and now we have a little over 3,000 clients plus. And it's been a long road, but we love it. My wife is not in it anymore. She's decided it's not her thing. She paid her dues. And but anyway, all through my endeavor with being a florist, I always hired college students to be my delivery people. I believed in giving the same chance I was given, and a lot of them have moved on and become successful. Some of them in the floral industry, some of them not. But I do share my talents, and it's something that I'm proud to do and I'm willing to do.
Joe, I know there's 2 florist shops in Denton. Is that all we have?
Oh, no. No. There's, back when I started, there was several. There was Joe Alford. He also got his start with Linwood Robertson's as a designer, as a driver and designer. There was also Flower Garden, that was the Campbell, Sharon Campbell. She also got their start at Linwood Robertson's. This is the florist that believed in their people. Also, Jack Baker worked for him for a while. He had a florist here. He's no longer with us. Flower Garden continues on now. It's called, I think, Congress on 21 or something. It's over on Congress Street. Flower Garden.
Scripture. So would you say that you're the longest standing?
I'm the longest standing one now. Okay. I've been here since '78, 40-some years. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Joe, do you remember Selby's?
Of course. We just
R.L.
lost,
Selby?
just lost Richard a while back. Had his memorial service last week, and he was co-owner with his dad at Selby Greenhouse, which the greenhouses are still standing. The business is not. It's kind of a, I don't know what you call it, but it's whitewashed glass greenhouses. What is that street over? I already forgot the name of the street.
Where the greenhouses
Where
are?
the greenhouses
It's
are.
the extension of South Elm Street.
It is extension of South Elm. You have to
It's
wiggle
in
back in there.
It's in Indian territory.
It's kind of it's kind of wedged in back there.
So for everybody who doesn't know, so the Selby House, which is now downtown Denton, was actually there,
Was actually there,
and now it's a substation for the city of Denton.
right.
In that location.
Right.
Not the Selby House is not. Selby House has moved.
They're moving. They put an electric substation on that property. Yes. So their house has moved, and it's a historical home, which is on Congress Street now. It's over there in the park where they have several homes. I think they have a log cabin over there. They have two or three homes.
So what's the address of your place?
700 East Sherman Drive. I want to remind everybody a big day's coming up next week. From today, it's kind of crazy time.
Well, you have presidential today.
But any of you young people, get out there if you're interested in flowers, any kind of job you're interested in. Try to get a job at a company you think you might be. I didn't even know I wanted to be a florist. I had no idea. It just happened. It got in my blood, and I'm still bleeding. So,
So is marketing has really changed?
marketing's crazy, yes. Yes.
How's that affected you guys?
Well, yes. Marketing's changed a whole lot of social media, a whole lot of, most of our business is online anymore, meaning people either call us on the phone or they place an order online and it comes into us and then we fill the order. Don't have a great amount of walk-in anymore. I wish we did. It's just not a thing that a florist gets until you're ready to have a wedding, a big party, or you have a funeral planning where we actually counsel with people, and that's when we get most of the walk-in. I wish we had the walk-in. What's taking away our walk-in? I would think our big stores like Hobby Lobby. People will go there to get their decorations now, as opposed to one of your local shops that used to do it for them. We used to have all those knickknacks you have in Hobby Lobby. We just don't get into that inventory on that anymore.
So I have a couple questions for you.
Yes.
So 1-800-Flowers.
Okay.
Did you see it dip and then come back? And the reason why I say that, because I've used them,
Okay.
and there's a definite difference between having a box show up
Yeah.
and an arrangement show up.
Absolutely.
Right? So, did you see that dipping and come back?
Oh yeah. We kind of fight the online things like your 1-800-Flowers. If anybody does any of those purchases from those companies like that, they don't have a florist, so they have to call a florist to do their order. And in so doing, they've got an additional charge they charge you. Their come on, and I say that their come on is that they're going to be much cheaper than a retail florist. And that's where they get to come on to get your initial order. And then once they get your order, they sell it so inexpensive that a florist won't take the order. We turn them down. So then, in that respect, a lot of times your order doesn't get delivered, or they request more funds from you, and you're kind of forced to give them more money because you already gave them money. So you've got to get your order delivered. So it's kind of a thing we're fighting. We, as retail florists, feel that if you don't have a shop, a front window, an actual location, and all of us that are our real florists are trying to get those kind of things put aside. They're able to buy larger space in phone directories online because they're not paying for anything. They're not paying for rent. They're not paying for anything except that online presence. So, but anyway, that's another battle. We all have battles.
So, second question
Yes.
is, so my daughter's been in high school. She's taken floral, like two and a half years or something like that.
Right.
Do you ever have any interns come in and
We
do
do.
that?
We do.
Okay.
We have.
She just need to come down and talk to you?
When we have space, come and talk to us. Sometimes we don't have space. We're pretty much family. I've got a driver now that is a retired serviceman that I have driving for me. So I'm kind of helping a lot of different directions.
Right.
I've got an aunt and her daughter that work for me. I have another young lady that works for me. I've trained all of them, and they're very good. So I mean, what they do looks like what I do. So when something goes out, it's really an extension of what I have taught people, and that's what we've become known. People are. My business is known for our look, our value. And we're proud of that. again, if you want to get in the business, even if, whether it's florist, whether it's anything, do it as soon as you can. Do it while you're a student. Do it while you're in college. Take these opportunity for weekends and things to do something. Maybe not exactly what you're thinking you want to do. I had no idea I wanted to do this. But once it's in your blood, you have no choice. So, who knew?
Joe, you were talking about inventory a little bit.
Oh,
Is that,
yes. Well, you mean
The
the perishable,
freshness?
yes, perishable inventory?
yeah, so how does it work?
We order from South America. We order from lots of places, Holland, all sorts of places. And we have local wholesalers in Fort Worth and in Dallas that also order from these places. From them, we're able to get instant deliveries up to us that day. The things that we order from these vendors and growers out of country are usually standing orders that come in once a week because it's not something you can call and say, I need this tomorrow. So, but we do buy internationally, and that's what we need to do. There's a lot of it is not available in the States anymore. The economy here, weather, other things have taken over the industry where it used to grow in California. They've had such weather right now, they've lost a lot of their crops. We're not getting much out of California right now because of flooding and things. So you've got to keep your options open as far as where you can get your product.
Is Tyler part of the process with roses? I mean, is it real, Tyler?
The what now?
Tyler, Texas, is that part of the
No,
process?
Tyler is not for us because they're selling more of a plant and they're selling more of a smaller crop that we need a longer stem.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and they don't sell that for us, yes.
Just wondered, is the name of your business from your wife?
No, actually, Holly's Gardens was the name of the shop before I bought it.
Oh,
When I bought the shop, I went in on a shoestring, couldn't afford to buy a sign, so I kept the name. So we're Holly's Gardens. I should have named one of my children Holly, but I didn't.
So who was Holly?
Holly was Holly Massey. She was the daughter of the people that started the business about 2 years before I bought it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a Holly.
There was a Holly. That's since deceased, but she was a Holly. It was a Holly. Which is kind of interesting. All righty. Any other questions that you can think of?
Well, in some ways you were able to use your graphic arts degree a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you must have a pretty good eye.
A good eye, yes. That helped.
Yeah.
That helped. Eye and design and color, yes. Yes, that's for sure.
You do logos?
Do what? You do? I do logos. Okay.
You do turkey roll logos?
I could, yes, I could.
Because we're going to need another one. We're at 42 and we're not stopping anytime soon.
All right, well, we can adjust it or whatever, we can update, whatever you want to do, yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody interested in working at a florist? I know some of y'all are taking graphic commercial art, flower design in high school now. It wasn't offered back when I was a student. I taught some classes at North Texas on design in their community courses, and 2 florists in town were started from my teaching that class. One of them was Crickets over on Malone Street. She's since closed, but she was there for about 20 years. And that was Norma Brazil had that one. The other one that was one of my students is a lady that owns a flower garden right now. So, that's kind of interesting that she bought a florist after taking my design classes. So it's spreading the word and spreading the love of flowers is what I like to do. I've taught a lot of classes through the wholesalers. I've gone to Houston, and I've gone to a lot of West Texas shows, some in Oklahoma, where the different vendors will have conventions, and they ask guest designers to come and do their product. So I've gotten to do a lot of those. Not doing it anymore, but I've done it in the past. So, okay. Any
Joe,
other?
you guys have you know, what's the right word here, mom and pop shop, basically,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Are there franchise type of floral shops?
You know, there are franchise shops. I mean, mine, of course, is not mine's individual owner, but there are franchise shops all around. What's happening are a lot of these mom and pop shops are getting bought up by these companies that are they're buying their telephone number, and then they close that shop and they use that phone number somewhere else, and they work out of a warehouse. But a lot of us mom and pop shops are getting taken over. A lot of that's happening in Dallas.
So what's the gross revenue for a shop like yours?
Shop like mine, we do a little over $500,000. So far this year, we're already surpassed.
Good.
Yeah, we're already at $250,000 already within the 2 months. So, you know, it's a good business because there's a lot of expense. The expense, our flowers cost probably now maybe 3 times what they cost when I started. The freight is crazy. There's a lot of things. Even though we turn a lot of money over, we're not rolling in it, but it does roll through our hands. So it does do that.
So you have to have a love for it, is what you're saying.
Do what now?
You have to have a love for it.
Got to have a love. Have to have a love for it. Do have to have a love. Long hours. We're fixing to be in. Starting this week, we probably won't go home a whole lot after Sunday. We'll be there around the clock with getting Valentine's out on town.
So are you guys involved in the, is it the prom or the homecoming type of stuff?
Oh, yes. Homecoming used to be here. For us, we were probably one of the #1 shops back in its heyday. Now, with a lot of the high schools that are doing their design programs, you know, they're making their own month at school, and a lot of that business has transposed over into that. We do some, have enough inventory to make 1,000 today, but we don't do that anymore. We pretty much have not done it, quit doing the month. If they want to buy some mum supplies, I've got it. If they want to
Mum
start a
supplies.
business, I have the mum stuff to start a business. All right. Valentine's is coming up. Order your flowers.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else? Ken, do you want to go ahead and do this one today?
Joe, thank you